How about weed? You guys smoke nice legal weed? Every once in a while, it's a very matter-of-fact answer. Every once in a while. What are you, fucking... Gummy. What's that?
A gummy.
A gummy? Oh, pussy. Fucking gummy-eating motherfucker. It doesn't impress anybody. Smoke hash out of a disgusting Heinz ketchup bottle bong that's been... Check out that fucking gummy douchebag. The one guy who's actually... The guy's like likes my show enough to open up, and I just like immediately turn into a prick. I'm just jealous. I'm sorry, I'm jealous. I can't. Like something happened to me, and I started getting really paranoid. Like when I smoke weed. I haven't bought weed in like 25 years, and I used to buy dope from this guy in high school named Mike Van Dyke, right? And Mike Van Dyke lived in a basement apartment, and all the teenagers would go over there, and what you do is you'd give $30 to Mike Van Dyke, and he'd give you $30 worth of weed, and then he'd smoke 15 of it with you. And then you'd play some Mortal Kombat, and you'd go on your merry way, right? So anyway, a few weeks ago, my girlfriend, she's like, baby, I got PMS, can you go get me some dope? And I'm just like, sure, I haven't seen Mike Van Dyke in years. She's like, no, you can go to one of any 8,000 weed suppository or depository or whatever that's sprung up. When did weed become the new bubble tea, by the way? It's fucking everywhere. Wasn't it like illegal a few years ago? So I go into this like weed place, and there was no couch, no fucking Mortal Kombat, no Mike Van Dyke. It was about as much fun as going to get your passport renewed. It's so clinical and sterile. It's all bright. And there's this like glass case, and there's this teenage girl there, and she's like, "Can I help you?" And I'm just like, "I want drugs," But I don't know what any of this is. She goes, "Well, how do you want to feel?" I'm like, "Stoned and not annoyed." Let's start with that. So she sells me $60 worth of, I presumably dope, but I couldn't tell because there was so much plastic. I was just like, what? It's not plutonium, it's weed. It's like when the government decided they were going to legalize weed, they're like, hey, people of Canada, we are legalizing weed. Aren't you lucky? And we're like, yeah! And we're going to grow it. And we're like, oh, no. We don't want you growing and selling it. We just want you to not arrest the people who are good at growing and selling it. Right? We are the government, and we are gonna fucking sell weed, but we don't have the slightest idea what we're doing. Where should we grow the weed? And everyone in BC, where I'm from, is like, here, we're already doing it. We're really good at it. Well, okay, we'll do it in Saskatchewan. And some weird little town just outside Ottawa. And who should grow the weed? Us! We're the old hippies. We're really good at it. Narcs. We'll get narcs to grow weed. Who's more qualified to grow marijuana than people who have never smoked a joint and were in fact imprisoning people for doing that very thing? And what qualities should the weed have? Well, it should be kind of dank and sticky, icky, drier than a scarecrow's snatch. This will explode in your face, it's so fucking dry. You won't have any eyebrows left after one joint. This is the driest thing outside of the middle of the Sahara. And what kind of packaging should we put it in? Honestly, a Ziploc bag will do just fine. Inside a Rubik's Cube. It will be impossible to access your marijuana. 17 layers of bulletproof glass between you and a joint. The Pope is not as well protected as your gram of marijuana. You ever see Hellraiser? It's kind of like that box. That's actually easier to open. Because we know there's nothing a pothead loves more than an obstacle.